Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Chris Heyer, and I am on the board of directors for Steps to Recovery Home. I've been part of this board for almost 10 years. I've been a past president. I'm currently the vice president and treasurer, and I have watched in that time things happen here that are nothing short of miracles. I've been a life coach. I've worked with the job development program. I've volunteered and worked in Miracles Happen resale. It's been frankly, a life-changing thing for me. Other boards have asked me to be on their board, and yet I'm still here. I wanted to talk to you today about why I support and am involved with Steps to Recovery Home. First and foremost is the passion, the dedication, and the commitment of the founders. Damien and Ann Browning founded this organization. Damien is the current CEO, and he was a student of mine at Yavapai College before I retired. The commitment to the clients is, to me, nothing short of amazing. Meeting the clients where they are, not where we want them to be, but where they are now. And instead of some place we call a flop house, it's a safe, clean, and structured environment. They get activities that give them real life, because once you leave our program, you have real life. You need to know how to react to all those things. It's the celebration that happens, and we celebrate successes. We support those who may have relapsed, because you need to support them and their family as well. The commitment to our community, not just to provide a workforce, but the commitment to have a stable, sober, and viable workforce, and to create a clean work environment. But there's more. The programs that we have always keep the clients first and foremost and in the front all the time. We opened a resale store, and that was purposeful. Not only does it bring income in, of course, but also it was part of a program to help clients develop their job skills for the real world. Did they complain? Sure. But they learned a lot on how to conduct yourself, how to think about your behavior. From that, we created an actual job development program that is thoughtful. They go through a workbook. They talk about where they are and where they want to go. Not just careers, but how they're going to get there. They create a resume. For most of them, the first time in their life, they think about what they've done and how they can apply the skills they have to a job that they want. We work on behaviors and triggers. From this, we learned that more therapy needed to happen up front for our clients than just that structured program. We used to be scattered all over and used to have 3 buildings and a couple of warehouses, and it took a lot of time to transport and do things. So we realized we needed one building. And we are thankful for the USDA to help us with funding to buy a permanent building. We consider it an asset, and boy has it been. We then developed Connect, our inpatient, outpatient therapy for our clients and the community. The difference we have seen with our clients from that upfront therapy on behaviors, on triggers, on all those things that they need to look outward and inward has been nothing short of, frankly, a miracle. We have celebrated 10 years. In nonprofit recovery, that's pretty darn good. It's the commitment, it's the passion, it's seeking ways to still improve. We're always seeking ways to improve the program for our clients, ways to educate the community, ways to bring people involved. I am involved in this organization, Steps to Recovery Homes, both physically, I volunteer, and monetarily. I'm going to encourage you to find out more and to come join us.
I have a couple of questions. You mentioned miracles happened. Without mentioning names, can you tell some stories?
We have several. The celebrations of their graduating from the program is amazing. They have gone through a lot, inward and outward. To see all of that and people come and celebrate their success, sometimes that's the first time they've ever had that happen. And people say, way to go. That's pretty cool. I can think of one young woman. She came back 3 times, and she will tell you that we literally saved her life. She lived on the street, had no job, had no income. She lost her family. She lost her children. That's pretty amazing to be able to reconnect with that and with your community and become a viable part of the community. She has a wonderful job now, and that's pretty cool. We have a young man that also came here from out of state. He seemed to do okay. and he graduated from the program, and he was working and doing really good. Then he went to an event and relapsed. He went all the way back and started all over again. The change is physical and emotional, and it's palpable. You can see it. You can see it in their face.
Can you describe that?
Yes. You have a sagging face. You have people that come in, and you know the posture. They don't want you to see them. They're always inward, and they're bending over. If they could wear a hoodie all day, they would. All of a sudden, their shoulders go back. They stand up straight. They smile. They look you in the eye. They communicate. They say, I get it. They say, it's for me. I'm working on me. They've never been able to do that before. That's the miracle. It is physical. It is palpable. And it's the most wonderful thing ever. I think that's a commitment they make. I'm going to keep my commitment as long as they make theirs.
Could you talk some about that real doubt that they sometimes have that they can grow and change, and then what happens when it turns into, oh wow, I can grow, I can change, I can be sober?
That is the impetus for the outpatient therapy program as well. These are people that fall through the cracks. These are people that people have just written off. They truly feel, I am a nobody, I deserve nothing, I'm just going to exist, and if I go away, nobody would care. They go through the therapy and realize somebody cares about me. It's almost like a child. Children need structure. People need structure. They realize they are creating that structure in themselves. They're looking inward and realize, I am somebody. I am a valuable person. I can contribute to myself, my family. And I really am a valuable person. I'm part of the community. I'm part of the world. And I want to be a success here. That's the wonderful thing, to see the shoulders go back and to see their face light up and be proud of what they're doing and looking inward, because that's probably the first time they've ever done that. Somebody's asked them a question about this and they've answered, wow, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could look inward and improve myself. People have been telling them for years, you'll never change. You'll never change, you'll never change, you're just going to fall back. Then they can stand up and say, see, I told you, I can change. I am changing. I will continue to grow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Do you have one or two stories about the job training program?
Actually, the job development program came out of the student success program at the college. We realized many of these people were seeking jobs, and we had employers willing to have our clients come in and work and job shadow. They didn't have a resume. They couldn't talk about themselves. They couldn't say, I'm good at communication, I can do this, some physical skills I have, or this and this. They couldn't do that. But they never really thought about that. They have to first figure out, what am I good at? Where do I want to go? What do I really want to do? So we worked with the DES. They actually have a wonderful assessment program that will tell them if they really are good at math and they never knew, or if they have creative skills, or they really do have leadership ability. For most of them, nobody ever had them do that. They've never figured out, I am good at math. That's why I've always liked it. Or I really want to work outside, or I really like working with animals. And then building from that, where are you going to go from here? What are you going to do from here? What's going to create that success for you? And then giving them experiences in a controlled environment, learn how to react to behaviors of others and themselves, triggers that might trigger something where they may relapse, or they may get angry, or they may do something or say something they didn't really want to do.
I'd like you to elaborate on the long-term planning that's required for people who just look for their next fix or their next drink.
That's part of the therapy, because it's not surviving day to day. It's now surviving to look at, wow, I might have a future here. Wow, I could actually go earn a living here. Wow, we promote this, I could go to school here. Wow, I could actually do this. I could have money to travel. I could have money to get my family back. I could have money to pay all those back court costs that I owe. I could have a way to look into the future and not just, where are you today? Where are you an hour from now? Where are you next week? I can plan. I can know that there's a future, and I can know that I'm part of that, and I'm worth that, and I deserve it. Every time we have a graduation, I have to write a poem for some reason. I don't know why I do it, but I do it because I get to know them. And I think they're surprised sometimes that I see things that they don't see. But the most important thing that I tell them every time I see them is, don't forget, you are worth it, you deserve it. And they do.
You've had people that have been in recovery that are working in the store. How have you seen them grow when they do that?
I've been working in Miracles Happen since it started. I first did it because if you think about the overwhelming just generosity of our community, they've given us so much. When we had the first store, we had a lot more things. We had furniture, etc. But here's the cool thing. We actually had somebody come in and talk to us about rehabbing furniture and cleaning stuff and learning how to disseminate. So here's a couple things they learned. First of all, they may learn how to refinish a piece of furniture and have the creativity to create something of their own that they can sell, or maybe when they leave our program and they get an apartment of their own, they can take a piece of furniture. We do help them furnish their first apartment. They also learn you have to show up on time. You have to follow the things that people are telling you to do. You may not want to, but you have to do that, okay? And yes, some of it's some physical work. Even I had to clean the toilets, so okay, you just have to do that. But part of that growth that happens is realizing that you ask a client to go in, all right, I need you to go set up this area. So maybe it's women's clothing, and I need you to put it by size, and I need you to put it by color, and I need you to do that. And then letting them know that was a job well done. You did exactly what I asked. Or coaching them to say, okay, so I asked you about this, and I'm not understanding this. And then they grow into that structured part, and then they grow into their own creativeness. I want you to go set up the dishes, or I want you to do whatever. That's pretty cool to watch that, where they have their own license to realize, I can do this on my own. And that's the growth that happens.
What caused you to put your life into this?
When I really first met Damien, he was a student of mine at the college. And what I saw was an overachiever. He shared with me that he was in recovery. And I said, quit trying so hard. Quit trying so hard. You're doing fine. He was working with the IT people, and he was doing a great job. I saw leadership skills, and I saw someone who really cared about what he was doing. So then let's fast forward a year or two. I had retired, and I saw him in a parking lot somewhere, and he says, hey, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, oh, Ann and I opened up a recovery home. We call it Steps to Recovery, and we are renting this house. And at that time, they had co-eds, and they realized that you can't have women and men together. There's arguments all the time. He said, would you come do some life coaching for me? And I said, about what? And he said, just about believing in yourself and communication and things like that. I am a True Colors certified trainer, and so I would go and do the True Colors for his clients. And I started doing all of that. And then I started doing, when we moved into the new buildings and we had separate men's and women's houses, I did the life coaching, and I would show them how to eat well at the dollar store and things to cook that last a long time, and just some other life skills. Then he said, you should be on our board. I was invited to the next board meeting, and the rest is history. What I saw was the passion. What I saw was the caring. When I was in the office and Damien was correcting a client and talking to them about their behavior and why they needed to do something, or how would they create this situation if they did this, and the way he handled himself, the way he handled the clients, it just makes you want to stick around. Seeing the success of the clients, seeing the growth of the clients is really the most rewarding thing.
What exactly is True Colors?
True Colors is a communication system, if you will, that breaks it down into 4 colors. It talks about whether or not you're one of those harmony people, whether you're somebody who lives and dies on spreadsheets, somebody who really is one of those introspective and they're the nerd that sits in the dark room and researches everything, or there's somebody that just flies up the handle and is real knee-jerk reaction to everything. It's pretty cool because it's very easy to recognize. Then you understand how to work with people. You have people that you work with that everybody has to get along all the time. There are those people, and they'll bring you flowers and they'll send you little notes and all that. I used to teach my students, when you go in and interview for a job, if someone has a very neat desk and they have everything in order and everything else, Okay, that person organizes their mind, and you got to talk to them in bullet points. Otherwise, they won't understand you. So that's what the whole program is, and it's a lot of fun. And we do group activities and things that make it fun.
Can you think of anything else you'd like to share?
I'm impressed every day with the growth and the tone and the commitment that this organization makes for its clients and to the community.
What's the full name of this organization? Steps to Recovery.
Recovery Homes.
You talked about the outpatient program. How did that come about?
When we did the inpatient for our clients, we had a lot of support from outside our organization, from the community, because they can't fulfill the need. So why not? Why not? And there's a lot of people that may not want that stigma, that may want the privacy of their company or their business or whatever job they're in or whatever. But the need is there. That was clearly the need for both inpatient and outpatient.
And it's totally confidential, right?
And it is totally confidential. All of it's totally confidential. We have wonderful therapists.